All right, there we go. I'm good.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Are you ready?
The CJ Howard Show. Now let's go to CJ Howard. Saturday evening, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of the CJ Howard Show. We're with you on Saturday, and you're probably wondering why we're with you on Saturday. We've got the tournament edition of the CJ Howard Show because I'm not going to be able to be with you tomorrow and the next Sunday. We're going to go ahead and do one today. It will be February 13th or March 13th when I'll be back with you. We'll talk more about that at the end of the show. So we got a lot of basketball to go over. We've got a lot of things to go over today. We got some good guests. I think we've got all these regions broke down really good. I think with our guest here in about 10 minutes, we'll hear from Wes Dixon, the media director of the 13th region. If we want to know 13th region basketball, we go to Les Dixon. If we want to know 14th region basketball, we're going to talk to Nathan Little, who works at WSGS, also the media teacher at PCC High School. Then we're going to hear from Darryl McCoy. He is one half of the D&D Sports Network. They do a phenomenal job. And, of course, you can see the CJ Howard Show on the D&D Sports Network every Sunday night. You can see it here tonight if you're watching us live. Then we're going to have at 9:10 William Warfield, and he's the owner of PreSpin. PreSpin is the only place that you can watch the KHSAA state championship events at PreSpin. With him, we're going to talk about the entire state, including he wants to talk a little bit about the mountains. And then John Lowe is going to come in at 9:30 and clean it all up for us as we get ready for tomorrow. We've got games going on tomorrow, starting in the 14th region girls at PCC High School. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Got a phenomenal guest. Jenkins head coach Wiston Lee with me for the tournament edition. Wouldn't have it no other way because it's good to have a coach's perspective on these tournament games and everything. Winston, it's good to have you with me. I actually had you with me last year before you lost your district opener, and we talked about how much that you want. What direction was your team going to go? Of course, you went in a different direction, and now you're really happy at Jenkins and done some really great things with them. But tell us a little about a season. We hadn't seen you for about a month or two, and tell us what you think about playoff basketball.
I do want to before we get rolling here, I do want to shout out Coach Metcalf and David Tiny Caudle there, of course, our man Tiny, and and Coach who's watching, and we'll be talking about her draw here in a little bit, I'm sure. But I feel really good about our program and where we ended off this year at Jenkins High School. Me and you were talking just before the show. We, more wins than over the last 4 years combined, and the most wins over the last decade in a season. So I'm really happy. I think it ended up really in my mind as a coach that's really taken on a rebuild job. I think it was the perfect number because I think it's something. Hey, there's Shelly. So good to see you, Shelly. Shout out to McKaylee Banks on winning 14th Region Player of the Year, and good luck to the Cougars coming up. And I may see you tomorrow, Shelly. You don't know. I may see you tomorrow. So I
stop in and watch some of those games.
Yeah, I may be there. I don't know.
Got a good day, but I'll tell you what. Got some good basketball going on tomorrow day, the whole day at the John C. Combs Arena. 4 good ball games, I think. So if you want to get out, come out, watch it. It's gonna be good.
Hey, I just Coach College just commented on there. We were actually just talking good about Leslie County and the good things that were going on. And congratulations, hats off to that girls program over at Leslie, and what they've done over the past week has been really what they've done over the course of this year has been really impressive, given all their adversity. I'm sure we're going to talk about them too. I'm getting ahead of myself, but yeah, I really happy with the way, as a coach, you can never be really happy or satisfied, but I'm really pleased with how our high school basketball team showed up this year on the boys side and the girls side on Jenkins too. I thought the girls team did a really good job, won more games than what people really thought they would, competed in a whole lot of games, and we were kind of on the, and the boys side also, we won a lot of games that people probably didn't think we would win. And so I'm walking away from it really pleased. I think we got the perfect number to build on. I got a really good freshman, sophomore group that was competitive all year long, that won a lot of JV games. So I'm excited. I'm super excited. I think we're moving in a positive direction, and I'm really looking forward to getting the whole summer. Last year it was kind of like the end of June before I got hired at Jenkins and took this job. So I'm looking forward to having a full slated May and June, and then after dead period, July, with these guys and build even more. So I'm cool, man. Jenkins is great. It's good to be green.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be maroon. So we're excited about around the board.
Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy.
Well, not everybody's happy.
Yeah, no, there are some people that aren't happy. Yeah.
We had some interesting draws today. I was more interested in coming down. I look at the 12, 14, 15, 13, 14, 15, and the 12th. I looked at all the draws. I thought the hardest draw was the 14th. Just due to one fact. I thought Prairie and Breathitt in the same bracket. That is going to be a monster. Now, they're going to play the semifinals for the boys in the 14th is next Sunday, 2 o'clock, 4:30 at Breathitt County High School. So, if I know that the Coliseum is probably going to be so full that the fire marshal will be turning them away when Prairie and Breathitt, if they can get there. They both have got hard opponent. They do got some decent opponents in the first round. I don't want to take away from their opponents because that's not fair to the kids or the coaches. North County, a team is starting to play a little bit better. In one slip up, Breathitt could be going home under not. And then Prairie's got to play Powell. Powell's improved a ton. Powell was one of the teams last year that just had an extremely hard time ever getting going. I think they all won like a couple of games. This year, I think they won 9 or 10. So
I think they won 10. Yeah.
I think the 14th region had the toughest draw. Now I looked at the 13th bracket. We're going to talk the last in a few minutes. I really don't think. I thought there was a couple of games that stand out, but you got what you wanted. You got Knox Central and North Laurel separated from the boys, and you got South Laurel and North Laurel separated from the girls. But now you got to go play. It ain't a matter of, okay, well, we know they're not there, so we can just cruise on to the finals. That ain't how it's going to be, especially in North Laurel's bracket, the girls, because Corbin, who is a 20-win team, got to play Knox Central, who's another 20-win team. We're getting ready to talk to Les Dixon right now, but he'll be able to tell us everything we need to know getting ready for Monday and beyond. But with us now is Les Dixon, the media director of the 13th region. Last week was just starting to break down this 13th bracket a little bit. But first, let's welcome you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome,
I appreciate you having me. Hey, nice to meet you, Coach.
Yeah, good to meet you.
For me, I look a little rough.
I'm the same way. I've been under the weather all day. I think you look amazing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I've been at the arena all day and got home enough to take a little chat with my family, and it hit me at 7 something. I was like 7:30. I was like, oh Lord, I got to do that with CJ. I'd almost forgot CJ, but I was able to.
That's okay.
I'm glad.
Okay,
I
would text you. I would have said, "Where you at, Les?"
I'm so glad to have you because I honestly, the 2 brackets I have not seen is the boys and girls 13th. So I'm here to be educated. And now being in the 15th, I feel kind of good about knowing what to expect in the 15th and then being in the 14th. But I honestly, I'm ready to be educated, especially on the girls' side in the 13th. Well, I have no idea.
I'm going to tell you something. For the 13th region, for the girls' side, it actually, it's really packed with some really good early. Matter of fact, the first game could easily be a region final game.
Yeah.
The first game tips off
It could.
Monday.
Yes, it could be.
And
There's no question about that.
Who's that?
That's
Yes.
the Corbin Lady Red Hounds and the Knox Central Lady Panthers. Both are 20-win teams.
That's
Corbin
crazy,
come out
right? It's just the parody. It's the parody of the 13th. Is like
Right,
I look at the boys' side, and you got a team like Harlan County who ain't even in the thing.
He's
right?
not even in it.
Yeah, Trent Noah's probably arguably the best player in Southeastern Kentucky, and he ain't even in it.
He's not even in the tournament.
So it's crazy.
This is the second. This is the second year that Trent's not been in the tournament. Last year he broke his ankle. This year they didn't get in as a team. So really, for him, it's been a sad event because of him. But you got to give Bell County a lot of credit.
Absolutely.
I don't want to jump to the boys. We go girls first and boys, but you got to give Brad Sizemore a tremendous amount of credit for what he's done with that team this year.
Yes.
Well, he deserved. He earned that Coach of the Year. I mean,
no doubt about it. Yes.
Yeah, he earned it.
He did. And I just got off the phone with Brad probably about 10 or 15 minutes ago. I've known Brad since he was a little hoopster playing in the Optimus League at London Elementary. So I'm really happy, that he's had the success that he's had this year, and his team is right there, and they're right. You might, everybody wants to talk about Knox Central and North, and deservedly so. Yeah, Bell County's right there. They've improved tremendously throughout the season. And the one thing I like about Brad, and I know, CJ, you're wanting to get the girls, and we'll touch on boys. One thing I like about Brad, man, see, I'm not a big shot clock guy. I'm the type of guy that says, look, if you pull it out, don't whine and complain. Bring your defense in, play us. That's just my thought. Brad, the reason I bring this up, look, man, Brad will spread you out and pick you, how they made it to the region tournament, basically. To the district finals, how they clinched a spot for the region. He's losing by 2, and he spreads it out and holds it over 3 minutes. Right. With 5 seconds to go, they drive to tie it, maybe, I guess, to send overtime, and they score and get fouled, hit free throw shot and win.
That's it.
I understand why people don't want to watch people stand the whole time. But, man, I think it's a special thing how you can run those defenses and offenses when you spread people out. I like the game of basketball that makes you, hey, come and get me.
I'm so and I'm sure this is for a whole nother show.
Yes, yeah.
But I do want to say thank you, because I've had this conversation, especially, and all three of us know, over the course of this past year, it's been in circulation and conversation the entire year because so many other states are doing it. But I myself have the same exact feeling that you do. I know that people want to see these high-scoring games, and they want to see offense. And people make the argument to me that it takes away from the way the game was meant to be played, and I don't agree with that.
I don't
when they first put up the peach basket and started throwing the ball through it, nobody was thinking, hey, let's shoot 40-footers and slam dunk this thing.
That's right.
It was a strategic game, almost like chess, like playing chess. So it's like, I totally agree that I'm not a proponent of the shot clock. I get it in college and I get it in the NBA. But for me, as long as Kentucky has the Sweet 16 with unclassified teams entering the same grand tournament, there should not be a shot clock. Give the small guys a chance, make the bigger teams and the better teams have to strategize defensively, like you're saying. I'm with you 1,000%. It makes me so happy. I'd kiss you through the camera right now if I could. It makes me so happy. Thank you.
He likes to establish many things in his mind and keep them there, then let him rip out, because he knows the game of basketball. He knows it as well as anybody. He could be a great coach. I don't know if he would ever want to coach anytime in the near future, but he'd be a great coach. That's what makes him such a great media person over there. He does a great job with the media in the 13. Les, looking at the girls' draw, you talked about the first game, Corbin and Knox Central. I don't think North Laurel could sleep on Hardin County because Hardin County could do one of those, pull it out, hold it for 4 or 5 minutes, 6 minutes, allow North Laurel to sleep, and then there could be a game on their hands because we worked in this past week in the district. A lot of teams did not have possession or a total win in their game till fourth quarter. We saw a lot of teams take teams to the limit and push their limit. Could Harlan County be one of those teams that pushes North Laurel to a limit to make them think a little bit there the first round?
Well, the one thing that I've seen, and I agree, CJ, the one thing I've seen out of the 13th region, if, you look, South Laurel enters as the two-time defending region champ. They lost a couple of players that basically transferred away, and it hurt them a little bit. And then you had Rachel Presley, who plays down low, and she wasn't 100%. She was 65, 70, 75% throughout the season. Now she's probably 90, 95%, maybe 100. Then you've got somebody like North Laurel. They've played the toughest schedule in the region. They've got Haley Valentine, 13th Region Player of the Year, KABC. Then they were without their second best player, and she's one of the top 5-10 players in the region. Brooke Nicholson's had an injury all year. Best defensive player in the region. She comes back late January. She's scoring 20, 18, 13, 23, and she just flat out plays defense. Those points come off on the defensive side. A lot of them do. You got Emily Sizemore, been a starting point guard since 8th grade. Valentine, starting point guard, since 9th grade. And got a lot of experience there. And then you've got Corbin. Corbin picks up 2 good transfers. Darcy Anderson this past year, Callie Housley the year before. And they're legit. They've already got Shelby Stewart, the program's leading scorer of all time. And then you got Knox Central right there. They pick up Reagan Jones. She transferred from South Laurel. And then last year they get Hallie Collins, who's one of the top 2 or 3 players in the region. She came from North. And there's a lot of talent. I've left out one team. There's been the 5 all year. And then you got Bell County, who could easily win it. Gracie Jo Wilder transfers from Whitley to Bell County, and she's one of the top 5 players in the region. Then you've got Nadine Johnson that plays for them, Ashton Myers, a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent in the 13th region, boys and girls this year. Not a lot of separation. That's why I say that first game that tips off Corbin Knox Central could easily be a region title game. Of course, region championships going to go through Laurel County. You got to beat the Laurel County schools out. But you look at that first matchup, I see Knox, Corbin, that's a toss-up. Corbin beat them at home. Knox Central is very talented. I give Knox a little bit of an edge. Then you got South Laurel, Harlan County. Harlan County has been playing great of late, late. But then you got South Laurel. They go on Corbin's home floor and win the district, beat Corbin in district finals. Presley has a big game. Emily Cox, Clara Collins. And then you got their 7th grader who's a stud that, has already been looked at by major schools. Skeeter Mabe, 7th grader, starts. Hasn't missed one game as a starter this year as a 7th grader.
That's crazy.
That's just, Coach Souter just has talent. And then, all of a sudden the Mills kid comes. She's a 7th grader. Her mom won Miss Basketball when she was at Knox Central back in Kim Mays. And now here she is playing for South. She came back from I believe, a wrist injury. So, they got a lot of talent. And I don't know if they'll have much trouble with Harlan County. And then, you look at that, the lower bracket there. But I think you've got I'm sorry, North Laurel plays Harlan County. I apologize. Yeah. And that's going to set up a good match.
I was going to correct you there. I was going to correct you. I was going. I know you've had a busy day. You got a lot on your mind, so I knew you would correct that when you saw it.
Man, if North Laurel Knox Central meets up in this semifinal round, they didn't play each other this year. And then you have Hallie Collins, who played for North for the past 2 years, transfers from North to Knox. Knox has Presley Parton, Kaylin Mills, a lot of talent. And, that would be a good matchup. Lower bracket, South Laurel's down there. I already talked about them. They play Barberville. If there's one team that probably would be, the Cinderella, it'd have to be Barberville. And then you've got Jackson County, who's been ranked in the sixth region all year at the 6th spot. They've got probably the best size in the region, Kennedy Ward, Abby Gilbert. And, now my mind is blank. Tell me, who Jackson County plays.
Jackson County has Bell.
I got the bracket here. I didn't know if you had it in front of.
I got it in front of me. Bell. They play Bell County.
Bell County. I mean, Bell County's loaded. Like I said, Gracie Joe Wilder. I guarantee you by the time, and I know you guys are going to say this guy's just nuts. If you told me tomorrow that Gracie Joe Wilder dunked one in a game before the end of her career at Bell County, I would not be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, she can. The girl can play.
How tall is she?
To me, she's kind of. I mean, she's not as tall or anything like.
Just super athletic.
Yeah, like she's kind of built like she's a female version of Walter McCarty.
Oh, she's just long. Yeah, just long.
Yeah. Well put. I like that.
Yeah. And I love watching Gracie Joe Wilder play. I really love watching her, and it's just a good bracket. I don't know if CJ, if you want me to go further, I really think it's going to be a North Laurel.
South. I was going to say, give us your, who has probably the toughest path as far as a favorite that could make it to the championship.
Well, I would have to say Knox Central would. I mean, you're talking about Knox Central or Corbin, whoever wins that game.
Right.
You're talking about, first off, you're talking about either of those teams could win the region. So they're going to have to get past that game. Then the next game, you're going to have to beat more than likely North Laurel.
Yeah.
And if you win that game, you've either got South Laurel or Bell County.
Right.
I mean, so it's
just impossible.
Yeah, that's the toughest spot.
Well, and you know how it goes. I mean, any team obviously can get hot at the right time and on any given night. But it's just so tough. I think people out there, and if you're watching, and if you've if you've never followed much, or you've never coached, or you've never been part of the media, I'm afraid, like, even if you are the best team, like, I think we could say that in the 14th about Breathitt, like, everybody before the season started was like, man, this is Breathitt's to lose. They got it sold up. Like, oh my God, this talent top to bottom. Wow. And as the season progressed, like, it's almost like people catch up, and then all of a sudden you've got 2 or 3 teams capable and playing championship basketball. And it's just so hard, even if you're the favorite, to win 3 games in a row. It's just so hard. And a lot of it's having the best talent. A lot of it is preparation. And I'll be honest with you, like, sometimes you just have to have that twist of fate. And it's almost luck, right? That you want luck to favor you, and it's so hard to win 3 games. But I guess that answers the question of which side of the bracket is toughest. So I know we're probably running short on time, but tell us, you mentioned it there. You think it's going to be North-South? Yeah,
I think North-South. It wouldn't surprise me to see a North Bell, but North has proved itself. It hasn't lost a region game this year, and it's played everyone really except for Knox Central. But North, they go out of region. South Laurel goes out of region, and they really prepare themselves. So I think a North-South, right. I hate to go against the South Laurel team, because Coach Souter knows what he's doing. But I just think North's got the talent this year, to win the region. That's fair. At the end of the day, too, when these people, like us sitting here, we lay out predictions. For us, we're ultimately probably going to pick the team like that has the talent to do it. Like, it's tough to go against the team that has the Jimmies and Joes, right? So I like that. I'm good with that prediction. But you were also honest in giving us those teams that could very well win 1 or 2. Oh yeah. And it sounded like a lot of those teams might win 1 or 2. Right. And I would, like I say, I know I've said it 2 or 3 times, but I would not be surprised if Corbin or Knox Central cuts the nets down. That wouldn't be a surprise. There's 5 teams in that region that is capable of winning that region. But, I just got to give the edge to North because they've done it. And South Laurel's done it, and they've been there. So we'll see. Yeah, the big thing is I always like to have a tournament where you've got not just, one team that it's going to dominate through. I like when there's some teams that's kind of close. And it's going to be interesting to see a lot of good players in this region.
Now, the one bracket, and don't let me jump the gun, CJ. Is it time for boys? How much time do we have?
Nathan's coming on at 8:30. We really don't have to break down the 13th boys because I think we've broken it down all year long. But the one question I would have coming into the boys bracket can Bell County get to the finals? I think if North don't bring their game, they could overlook.
Let me know.
And Brad's going to look for coaching against if he can defeat Corbin. If he can beat Corbin, he's going to be looking forward to playing his old school in the semifinals. So the one thing I just didn't know, what's your thoughts on Bell, and do you believe they could get there?
Well, I'll break it down real quick. I was on a show earlier today, and I had to do my picks.
I've not even seen the bracket, so give us the breakdown.
Okay, the brackets you've got. Well, I've got it right here. I'll hurry up, CJ. I apologize. The brackets you've got.
Yes, you're doing great.
South Harlan Independent.
Who?
And then you've got Knox Central, Jackson
Harlan
County.
Independent, South Laurel in game 1.
Okay. Wow. I mean, if you're Harlan, wow. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. South and Harlan, then who?
Jackson County and Knox Central.
Okay.
Then Corbin and Bell County, and then Link Camp and North Laurel.
Who's above Link Camp and North Laurel? Jackson County.
Corbin and Bell.
Bell.
Jackson County plays Knox Central, KLX.
God, what about that Corbin-Bell matchup in the first round?
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Thursday night's going to be fun basketball because Link Camp, if you ain't seen them play, they're a fun team. I mean, they didn't play very well against Knox Central in the district championship game, but they're very capable of keeping the game close by spreading out, taking their athleticism and hurting you around the rim. So better watch out for the Wildcats too. That'd be an interesting game with the North there.
So was did I hear this right? Is Knox and North on opposite sides?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Les. Tell us all about it.
Well, here's my thoughts. You talk about real quick. South Laurel, Harlan's athletic as can be. South Laurel's best defensive team in the region. Mm-hmm. South Laurel's weakness, they don't have a lot of scores. It's like 2 teams on the separate ends of the spectrum. You're going to see a team that wants to run. You're going to see a team that wants to play deliberate style basketball.
Yeah.
Knox Central, just going to be too much for Jackson County. Corbin Bell, Bell County's playing hot right now. Corbin has the chance to knock them off, but Bell's playing. I will agree with CJ. North Laurel, they're favored over Link Camp, but Link Camp can put a scare in you. They got a 6'11" kid, and they call him the Ginger Giant, Gavin Allen. They got one of the top scorers in the region, Mike Engel. So they're going to they'll play. But I'll break it down real quick. I honestly think it's going to be a Knox Central Bell County region final.
What? Wow,
what?
I'm telling you.
Wow. I have been stunned here. Wow.
Somebody call Coach Valentine. Where's Nate?
I'm going one more step. I'm telling you right now. Bell County surprised in 2010 or 11 when Ben Maiden won the region. Ben Maiden is Brad Southmore's brother-in-law.
Okay, yeah.
They're going to beat Knox Central. Bell County is going to win the region. They're going to shock North Laurel. I think it's a bad matchup for North Laurel.
Yeah.
Brad is going to go against he's going to go against his old team, and those Bobcat players are going to give Brad 110% effort. And I'll tell you what else Bell County is doing and what Brad's doing. They're playing this rest of the season for Brad's former assistant coach, Bobby Boland.
Yep.
And he passed away a couple weeks ago. And I'm telling you, this Bell County team, you've seen it, Coach. CJ, you've seen it. You've seen these teams where they just catch a break.
Yeah.
You catch a break and you catch fire.
Hey, it's like we said, and you got to have a little fate, right? And it sounds like they're a team that might have a little fate on their side, and not only are they playing well, and they play a real deliberate style, like you said, which is kind of opposite. It's kind of like, the kryptonite to North, right? Is like you want to play like this deliberate style of basketball to slow them down. I love that you went out there and did that. I love that you went out there.
Yeah, you're my hero. I mean,
That's awesome. And I had forgotten the fact that, I forget this fact that is Brad's old team. And I mean, as much as people want to say that's not a big deal, if you are coaching that game and you're a player for Brad Sizemore and he's won you, he has coached you to a district championship, and now you have this opportunity ahead of you to like beat his former team. You are going out there ready to run through a wall. And I love that's played into it. That plays into it.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to shortchange North Laurel, folks.
No.
They're the number 16.
No, we know you're not. We know. I mean, that's just we knew coming into this tournament that it was going to be 8 teams that was going to be competitive, and 4 each night was going to be great basketball. And you're going to see great basketball every night. That's why it's the most rated, want to be media event in the state of Kentucky. Nobody else wants to be in any other region but the 13 just to watch their type of basketball, because 6 of the 8 teams have an opportunity to win a regional championship. Right. So, I understand why you pick Bell. I do. I really do.
Yeah. I'll hurry up here because I know you're stacked with time, but I mean, you're looking at Trent Noah is not there, but you're still looking at, you've got Javante Turner, Coastal Carolina's looking at him. You got Reed Shepard, you got Ryan Davidson. Okay. Then you go ahead, Jordan McCall from Harlan. I've not even hit some of the other Knox. Gavin Chadwell from Knox Central, the tournament MVP last year. Then you look at Bell County. You got the Step Kid, you got Dawson Woolham, and you got Cameron Burnett. Look, it's not luck. It is not luck that Bell County is in this spot. I could be totally wrong, and North Laurel might blow the gates off of whoever they play. I just think it's an interesting matchup, and it's one of those things, and I'm going to compare it real quick to where the Cincinnati Bengals in football caught fire. Yeah. They had talent.
Yeah.
They had talent throughout the whole season. They caught fire at the right time.
They figured it out.
My Atlanta Braves in baseball caught fire at the right time.
Yep.
And I think Bell County, look, 2 plays real quick. Overtime against Harlan in the district finals. Bell County's down by 2. Their kid, first overtime, is doubled up. 2 seconds left, 1. Somehow he gets over, hits it, ties, sends it to second overtime, and wins by 10. Harlan County, they come down and take a 1-point lead. Trent Noah misses I thought, it was going in. Rims out. Sometimes things are meant to be. I know that sounds weird, but it just seems like everything's going Bell County's way right now. And look, they've got a heck of a coach, this region. But, don't shortchange, and I'll shush here. Do not shortchange Knox Central. If they pull off this feat this year and win their 4th region title in a row, hats off to Tony Patterson, because he has done no other team's done that in the past 30, 40 years other than Clay County in the 13th region. So
if they do it this year, man, for them to have done it like they've done it over the past few years, to me, and we're talking about how hard it is to win 3 games in a row on one given year, and now they've done it, 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
That is in that region where you have North, South, Corbin, all those perennial powers. It's mind-blowing. Like, it's mind-blowing. I want to know, like, I want to go sit in at a practice and see what they do.
That team voted Isaac Mills. They got talent.
They do have the talent.
But I'll hush here, CJ. Here's what I'm saying. Bank on it. Log Mountain is going to be throwing a 13th region championship party Bank on it.
Les, if you celebrate with you, can I?
I hope I
can
would.
me
I
and-
would.
Can me
I'm
and
going to be.
CJ
Hey,
come to
I'm
this
going to be
Lawmount
there.
party?
I would love. I will be there to watch these games. I want to see that. That would be a phenomenal event to watch. Les, you're great. I will see you on Monday. I'm looking forward to it,
Yes,
my
sir.
friend, and we're going to have a lot of fun next week.
Yes, sir, CJ. Thank you for having me on. Coach Lee, I appreciate talking to you, man.
Always.
You're a fun
Thank you,
guy.
man. That was good.
And
That was fun.
anytime, man, you want to talk basketball, hit CJ up, get my number, and we'll talk because you seem like a fun guy to talk
Absolutely.
sports with, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You good knowledge tonight. You taught me something. I appreciate you.
Hey, thank you, guys. You guys have a
All
good
right,
night.
Les. Thank you.
See you later.
Good night to you, Les. Les Dixon of the 13th region over there. He gave us everything we need to know about the 13th region. You need to know it over there. He brought it. Now we're going to go to the other spectrum of the other end. With us now, Nathan Little, radio personnel for WSGS, also is the media teacher or a director of the PCC media there. He teaches media at PCC. Nathan, it's great to have you on the show.
Hey, how's it going, CJ?
It's going well,
What's up?
Hey, can I just say
we
something?
know about the girls.
Hey,
Go
let me
ahead,
cut you
go ahead,
off.
Nate. Go
Let
ahead.
me cut you off. I was supposed to come on at 8:30, and I'm late because we got to hear Les Dixon talk about Bell County winning the 13th region. Can you? I mean,
there's going to be a party on Log Mountain. There's going to be a party on Log. You are not invited. You just extra invitation to the Log Mountain party, sir.
Shout out Log Mountain. Hey, Ovi Kennedy, wrestling coach, my boy Ovi Kennedy over there. They're killing it there this year. First year wrestling program. I'm a fan, but I also don't think it's going to happen, Les.
I wasn't going to let Les is obviously. Hey man, somebody's got to step out there, and it was Les tonight. He did a good job. I mean, if you're going to make a bold prediction, then that's the one.
Yeah.
I
feel it. I feel it.
I'm going to the Salt Mountain party. You're not invited.
You know, I mean, there's.
I'll have some hot takes
6 or
tonight.
7
I'm
teams
sure I'll
that can
have
win
some
that
hot takes.
13th.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you
There's
say
6 or
about
7
the
teams
14th.
that can win it. It's unlike the 14th though, because on the girls' side, I think there's like 3 or 4 teams that can win it, but the boys, the two teams that can win it are the same bracket. I mean,
listen,
You were there today, Nathan. How was the draw, and what was the reaction of everybody when they walked out of there?
Well, CJ, my reputation precedes me because I'm always at the draw, but I was not there today. I was not there.
Oh no!
Wednesday we had a 3-hour professional development deal at the school for spring assessment training, and I did not go. So I was told that I had to come in on Saturday at 9 a.m. to redo it. So I was in professional development hell today, watching the Bluegrass Sports Nation stream. But it's okay. It's okay.
You take a sick day?
On a Saturday?
Yeah, if you have to.
I mean, what we got to do here? But I can tell you
can't catch a break, can you, Nathan?
It's all good.
Seems to me that you think you're climbing up the hill, you're just falling right back down it.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. But I mean, as far as the boys draw, I mean, can't be any more controversial than the girls draw since we had to do it twice in 14. Look, we love drawing for stuff so much down here in southeastern Kentucky. We'll do it. We'll do it as many times as we can. 54th district boys draw. We got the girls 54th district seating off of Cantrell ratings.
Is that what happened?
What? No, the girls 54th always does.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. There's no draw.
Some years, yeah.
No,
No,
they do
some years.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it makes for some
They've done
interesting
it for
stuff.
a long time.
I don't even know who Dave Cantrell is. I don't
either.
I've got this conspiracy theory that it's really Randy Napier.
Yeah.
That he's just he's Dave
not
Cantrell.
No. So I'm not calling out this.
Well,
I'm not calling out this person that made this decision on the draw before the games had taken place. But
So I gotta put in this Kool-Aid jammer straw for my son here.
I was really confused about that whole situation. I guess so. I'm assuming it was to try to give everybody an extra day of preparation. Is that
Okay?
what it was about?
Yeah.
Let
The
me
girls' draw, the policy board approved it
Okay.
ahead of time, and they
The
said
14th policy board.
Yeah, 14th policy board
Yes.
approved it. They said, "Hey, we're going to draw on Wednesday because we're starting the tournament on Sunday."
Yes.
And the girls probably won't get done until Thursday. And if you want to draw, if they draw Friday, then you got 2 days to go. So they thought for sure, hey, calm down there, broski. My little boy's just raised a cane.
Hey,
But anyways,
hey.
so they wanted to give everybody a shot. Policy board voted on it. We had the draw. Everybody seemed okay with it. And somebody snitched to the KHSAA after the fact.
Somebody
Don't
didn't
know
like
who
their
it
draw.
was. Lucky. But so I'm under the impression that Randy Napier, AD at Perry Central, got a call Wednesday night that said, "Hey, this ain't going to work. You can't do it." And they said, and the deal was that the boys 14th last year did that. 56 wasn't done yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they did it, but evidently it was an exception due to COVID.
Okay.
Hey, dude, my dude, he's killing it over here. But they said that that's not legit this year. Which I understand, because honestly, that opens it up to a little bit of manipulation.
You can tank a game if you don't like your draw. You can absolutely tank a game. If there's a one that you would rather play, you can tank.
Because Owsley Powell are in a situation where if they lose, they play 9.
Right.
And if they win, they play the winner of Perry Leslie.
Exactly.
And I mean, if I'm in that situation, you know,
I'm tanking.
Oh man, I threw it out of bounds. Oh man, you know, it's I don't you know, when it got to Friday though, the girls, it felt like Perry and Leslie both would have winnable games in the first round, and you're probably going to play Knott or Letcher in the second round, barring any upsets. You know, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought going into Friday, it seemed like Thursday, it seemed like a pretty good deal.
Right.
But the commissioner told Randy that a member school called. It could have been, maybe it was a member school outside of the 14th. Who knows? You know,
I don't know. I mean, guarantee money on it that it was one of those teams.
It was somebody that didn't like what they. But when they redrew it, it basically
was the same.
Didn't change anything. It changed some times. It changed some times and really didn't do anything.
It didn't change anything. Well,
so
okay.
You know, I guess they say ball don't lie. You know,
the ball don't lie.
So
the ball don't lie. Well,
now
so I guess
the boys didn't have that problem today when they drawed. They drawed. Everybody seemed to be in a confirmation of their draw, probably except for Brett and Perry. I don't probably they wasn't real effective when they were in the same bracket. Nathan, what's this game? This tournament that Brett. I mean, this got to be so much pressure now on both teams.
That's what everybody's talking about. But in my opinion, that the winners of this draw, people should be talking about that top half of the bracket, because Wolf County is in a good spot. And look here. I'm with that draw.
Hot take coming.
With that draw and a little bit of prep time. This ain't a hot take. You got Al Holland on the top of the bracket. with
Not a
that
hot
draw
take.
and some,
Picking
and
out
some
Harlan
prep
is not a
time,
hot take.
it's like Batman. You know, you give him
That
enough
is-
time to figure it out and enough resources, and he's going to be able to get it done. But I think if you're Perry Central, if you're Breathitt, you hate this draw. You hate everything about it because you got Knott, maybe Perry next, and then whoever comes out of the top bracket.
Oh, it's brutal.
If you're Perry though, you get the loser of the 56 first.
Yep.
You get maybe Breathitt in the semis versus the finals. And I think that's it. I think that's a decent draw for them because Breathitt's going to have a tough game. Knott's going to give it. They beat Knott by I think about 13 points or so.
I think it was 11. Yeah, it was 11 at the beginning of the year, early in the year. But I don't know. I mean, Knott's played better as of late, and I think Knott can play deliberate enough, to make a game out of it. So you mentioned the top half. What I mean, did you pick Al or did you pick Wolf? Who do you think wins the top half?
Man, it's hard to say. I guess my head says Wolf, my heart says Al. It's one of those deals. I do think I think Cordy is not a bad not a bad shot to do it. I think you guys were talking about it earlier. You said that you got to win 3 tough games in a row. I don't know that I've seen. I know I've not seen Knott win 3 tough games in a row.
Right.
I don't think I've seen Cordia do that yet this year.
Yep.
Really, the only teams that I've seen consistently do that is Perry and Breathitt, and Perry honestly to a more to a higher level than Breathitt. Perry's beat Breathitt.
That's fair.
They won the WYMT tournament. They blew out Knox. Early in the season, and I was listening to you, Winston. In that, and here's you had said everybody had said that Breathitt was coming in. This is their year, and as things went on, people caught up to him. But
Perry's an exception.
To
Perry's
me,
an exception.
I was about to say, to me, like the only thing that anybody had to catch up to at the first of the season was Breathitt's expectations. Because honestly, both of those teams were in the YMT tournament. Breathitt goes 1-2. Perry goes 3-0, wins it. Then Perry doesn't lose again until Mason County at the Mason County Invitational. It's tough on the road, baby. Nobody's knocking them off in the first round. Breathitt, they made that all-A run. They came back
and beat a really good Lyon County team.
Yeah, they did have a they've got a loss to Wolf, they've got a loss to Perry, and that's really it. Wolf to me is a team that it's hard to get a check on their pulse because coming down the stretch.
You're looking at that Estill Wolf. Estill just beat them 2 weeks ago.
Without Wilgus Tolson.
Yeah, it was without Wilgus. But
Wilgus Tolson, he makes him go. He's got some crazy vibes. And by crazy, I mean crazy, dude.
He does.
But he can
win it or lose it for you.
I would love to have a Wilgus Tolson on my team just to be like, hey, go get him, man. Go
be a dog.
Go get him.
Go around.
But like at the same time, down the stretch, and look, I don't want to be negative to any of our teams, in the 14th region. But at the same time, you call it like you see it. Like down the stretch in that 55th district championship game, that was like a master class on like losing late. And it's not as a joke. They missed layups. They missed layups under a minute to go. Gosh, you guys, I'm trying to be serious. This isn't funny stuff.
I know, but I mean, a master class. It was.
Oh, I got you. But like that, with a minute to go,
you're right.
They come up and they are down two, and Wilgus steps into a three
in transition.
just like, and I'm looking over, and what I do in these situations, I'm watching. I like to watch the coach and see what he does. And you look at Bull, and Bull is like, he doesn't even react to it. But it's because he knows his team, and he knows, that right there. It's a bad shot because he missed it. It's a bad shot because he missed it.
And honestly, that's the way Bull has always won or lost, right? Like Bull, that's just the way Bull coaches. He coaches to give confidence into his players and instill that confidence into his players. And he's cool with it, if they lose in that way. Like, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool, like you're saying. I'm not saying anything negative about it. But I'm cool with it that he's cool with it. If he runs over there and he's flipping over the chair and pissed that Wilgus has shot this shot, then I'm like, okay, that's bad.
Then it's a bad shot. Yeah.
But he's not.
And I'm saying he stepped into it. He was open. Like the guy didn't get there to contest it, probably because he didn't think he was going to do it. But that's a different. Wolf County, when they started coming on several years ago, I mean, if they had to set up their offense, they struggled. But if they just get up and down and go, they could beat anybody.
Well, can we say this? Can we say this about them is that team, the core of that team played in a regional championship 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, and they were overtime. And
it was overtime.
They were They beat Perry Central first round, not second
round. Not the second round.
And then Hazard took them to overtime. I mean, has anybody ever beat Perry Knott and Hazard?
No.
Not happen. It's not happened because usually they're the ones winning it.
Exactly.
But
the only other team that may have done something like that was Noble's Buckhorn team that beat Perry and then went on and won a regional championship. But
yeah, I think in my opinion, please don't, you folks up in Wolf County, if you want to use me as bulletin board material, go for it. But I'm being respectful. I know that's how you win. That's how they win their games. That's how they win their games. And if you take Wilgus shot at that three in transition, look what happened against Estill County when he's not playing.
Yeah.
And Estill County won that pretty handily.
Yeah.
But they missed some layups. They couldn't get a board. Christian Collins killed them on the boards down the stretch. It was just like in that last 2 minutes, they could. And honestly, the 54th district, Perry and Hazard, that was close back and forth until, look, good teams do that at the end of the game. Great teams do that at the end of the game. When it's the winning minutes, they're going to go get it done. So everybody says this is a two-team race, but it can't be. It can't be because
somebody has to win that top half.
Nobody's going to know. They can't both be there. And I don't. And a lot of people say, that you're going to hear a lot of people say that semifinals matchup, bottom bracket, that's your 14th region championship. Yeah. It's not. That's what people said about Brett at Knox in the WYMT Classic. They said, "Oh, this semifinals up here at the top, that's the championship right there." Was it a championship? No, it was the semifinals to go to the championship, and the winner of it lost. And that happens. And that happens. And if you've got a battle between Breathitt and Perry in the semis, that takes a lot out of a team. That's one that you're not exactly walking straight the next day after.
No, absolutely. That opens up the door for somebody in that top half to really compete for this thing. I agree. I mean, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. I'm glad you called me out about the Perry thing. I do think Perry. I will say this, and I love John Noble, and I love every coach in the 14th. I swear to God, there's no coach in the 14th that I don't love and adore. But it's like I really think that I really think that Perry will win it. I think that Perry will win it when it's all said and done. And Shannon just has a way of I don't know, man. He just has a way, and I can't even describe it. It's deliberate, but it's not deliberate, and it's like, give your players freedom, but not too much freedom. And he just always finds this perfect mixture of how to coach the kids that he has. And now, granted, he's always got super talent, but I think he's done a really good job this year, and it wouldn't shock me if Breathitt beat him, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think it's Perry's to lose. And man, that top half, I just have no idea. I have no idea.
See, you know, Perry's not lost in the 14th this year, so I guess it's fair to say that
It's fair.
You know, fair to say that it's theirs to lose, but at the same time, they've been tested by Knott. You know, probably, you know, could have lost against Knott. Second game against Hazard was really tight. The game against Breathitt County, Breathitt fought back, got tight. I don't expect. If I had to take one team versus the field, I'd take the field, just because I think I think it's there's no odds-on favorite to win it with all the moving pieces. That top half of the bracket, you know, Cordia and Hazard, it's going to be a tough game. I think Wolf will move on to the semis. I think Perry will move on to the semis. Ultimately, I think Breathitt will, but you know, nobody, you know, the way Hazard played last year, nobody thought that Knott was going to win that. Knott was going to win the 14th either, and they did. So you can never count out BB. You can never count out Coach Allen.
Yeah,
I'm just looking forward to, because I know it's going to be good basketball, and it's just I can't. And you know that a lot of these guys have got some stuff that they've not shown anybody yet.
Absolutely,
and they're about to pull it out. One thing for Perry Central though is Dylan Knight did not play in the 54th District Championship game.
Okay,
Said he had a heel injury. Said he couldn't put any weight on it. He came in on crutches. I don't know. There's not many types of heel injuries. You know what I mean? They're trying to get it figured out. Could be you know, maybe a bone bruise, something like that. Could be anything. But I think he's big for them. Last year for Perry Central, one of the few losing seasons in school history. But I felt like, because they were competitive with every team.
Absolutely.
I
was honestly like, he did a heck of a job down the stretch. They ended up really, I mean, they competed. They made region. Did they make the region semis?
Yeah, they competed. Lost to Knott.
Lost to Knott in the region semis. I mean, for the season they had, I thought he did a really good job at the end. I
felt defensively they were the best team in the 14th all year long. They played hard, but they could not score. And in basketball, the winner is who scores the most at the end of the game. Yeah. So that was a problem. They didn't have anybody that could shoot the ball from long range. Basically, teams had, you know, Knott could just pack it in with McGuire in there. You know, like, go ahead, come on in. We're going to contest your shot. We're going to block it, and you're going to have to hit shots. And they didn't hit shots. Yeah. When they added Landon Napier to the mix, I felt like, hey, if they had one shooter, you know, teams had to respect that things would change. And I said that last year. And look here, you know, big brain stuff. But
score the most points.
But either way it goes. This I would take the field over anyone right now. This is a really competitive region. Perry hasn't lost any. Breathitt has lost very little. Wolf has got a win against Breathitt. And they've until at this point they've not won back-to-back games so far.
I did not realize that, but that's probably true. I did not realize that. Look it up and confirm.
Let me check my magic crystal ball here. Going into district, I think they had not won back-to-back games all year. And just because that's the case, you know, and poetry in motion, imagine them winning 3 in a row to win. Let's see.
Well, if they did that, I mean, it's nothing short of a BB miracle. But I do think that I'm with you. I mean, I think they are capable still of beating somebody. I mean, I don't know if that somebody is Breathitt. I don't know.
No back-to-back wins.
No back-to-back wins, and that's just a testament to their youth. I think,
guys. Don't mean jump in here, but we got another guest waiting.
They're kicking me out.
We could do this for 2 hours.
We didn't even get to the girls. All right, wait. Nathan, tell us who wins the girls.
Okay, let me go in
Just give us a
depth
quick
on
glance
this
for the
really
girls.
quick.
I
In
have to
depth
get
Give
on
us
this
your
really quick.
quickest girls version.
Okay, here's the thing. All year long, and you know, I'm sorry if I count anybody. I don't count anybody out. Anybody can win on a given night. But all year long, to me, it seemed like it's been 53rd, 54th, with 53rd 1A and 54th right below that. You know,
Sure.
Perry's got a win over Knott. Letcher has beaten Knott multiple times now, but Knott has really not been at full power until here recently. I expect that we'll see that Perry Letcher match in the semis and that Leslie Knott match in the bottom half. So it's going to be 53rd, 54th. You know, it's one of those things your head says it'll be another Letcher Knott finals. But you know, I would venture to say I think one of them is going to get upset. I think one of them is going to get upset.
I think you're right. I think this is the year that one of them, as much as in my heart tells me that they'll meet again for what now, the fourth year in a row or whatever, I do feel like this could be the year that one of them gets upset.
Let's go ahead. Let me just get it out of the way. Let me just get it out of the way. I'll call the upset.
Okay, you call
I
it.
do not think
you call yours and I'll call mine.
I do not think Leslie will beat Knott because just because Knott shooters or Knott has a lot going for him. I'll give Knott over Leslie, and I'll say Perry over Letcher. I'll say that'll be my upset.
Okay.
Perry Knott finals. It'll be a rematch of Knott's only loss against the 54th this year, and I don't know. You know, Perry beat him once. Knott should be.
Well, it's at Perry, right?
Up to it. It's at Perry. Well, Commodores win. There you go. There's the hot take, baby. Lady Doors win it. Win it.
I'll go on the flip side of that.
Okay.
And I'll say that the road of Owsley Leslie is too tough for Knott.
Okay.
And so I will predict that Hot Hand Leslie ends up playing, and I'm gonna do that for CJ. Hot Hand Leslie ends up playing Letcher in the championship, and I'm gonna give it. You know, I'm still good friends with all the people there at Letcher Central and Coach Keith Baker. So I'm gonna go with the Cougars. I'm
down with all. I wish. Speaking, you know, if Leslie plays like they did in that 54th district championship game, I don't know that. You know, they could punch their ticket to their to another regional. You know, I was looking. I had to make the program book for this tournament. I was looking. I put in the regional tournament winners for the girls since girls basketball started, and I just Leslie. They're always so dominant. But since I was born in '87, the only regional title they've got is with Mark Collett. With Mark Collett in 2016, I believe it was.
Shout out Mark Collett. He's been watching all night.
He's been watching. Look, Mark, how do you get your hair to do that, man? Mark, how do you get your hair to do that? I want to know. But before I'll let you all go. No, I'm sorry I didn't have any hot takes like Bell County's winning the 13th or anything. But
you call Perry girls winning is kind of a mild take. That's a warm take.
Okay, warm take. But either way, one shout out before I go. CJ mentioned I'm the media arts teacher and head of the broadcast program over at Perry Central. My kids have been absolutely just wild all year long. They've done every home game, and they went on the road to Hazard to do the whole district. They're going to cover Perry through the region. Just shout out to those guys, Dalton, Zach, Parker, and Chase. We're going to have Tiffany Williams in there tomorrow helping out too. So it's going to be fun. Going to be fun. A lot of people, for whatever reason, watch those live streams and they are surprised when these high school students are not unbiased broadcast journalists, special technicians. And I'm really, really kind of lost at how that's the case.
I'll say this before we gotta let you go.
But you guys keep doing your thing. And if anybody says anything to you, I'm going to stick CJ on him. He's going to CJ, Ryan Farmer, Scotty Bowl, and all of them. I want the whole crew.
That's a crew you don't want on you. Listen, I will tell you this.
Nathan,
real
I will
talk.
see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. I will see you. We'll see Nathan tomorrow. He'll have a lot more to say. Nathan,
I'm sorry I
Joel.
destroyed your show.
Come back.
I'm
No,
sorry
you
I
didn't.
destroyed
It was
your show.
perfect. I love you. This was amazing.
No.
I do
Okay.
want to say that I enjoy
No.
the fact that you
We'll
take a
have
lot
to-
of pride in what your kids do. I appreciate that as a teacher.
I have to bring you
really
back
do.
again. You earned another episode.
Oh, yes. See you guys. It's tough on the road, baby.
See you, man.
Nathan,
on the
thank you
road.
so much.
See you, man.
See you.
I
Mark
will
Collins
see you
said
tomorrow.
Product.
All right, Nathan. Probably did say product. Yes, he did.
He did. That's how he gets
Okay,
hair that
we'll
way.
see you later, Nathan. All right, now we're going to bring in our next guest, which is the PreSpin man. When the KHSAA has state championships, they call this man to do it. Mr. William Warfield. We get William on the screen. I don't know why I took him off the screen. He was there and he wasn't there.
There he is.
Let's get him in here. William,
What's
how we doing, sir?
Man, doing great. Getting ready for all this craziness.
Look at you,
Well,
man. This is legit. CJ, when can we get this studio? We're slacking on our studio, CJ.
This is the mobile broadcast studio here.
So that's mobile.
Yeah, it's a 30-foot
He's
trailer.
only-
Trailer. Wow.
He's had that last of the year.
That's awesome.
He got that back, I think, around the state tournament last year, I believe. Is that right, William?
It was over the summer last year, yeah. So
Yeah, I know it's not very old. It's he was my co-host for one show, and he had a really good look into that trailer, and it was so state of the art. And I told William that's something I would like to have, a little small building of my own with some, but he that's awesome right there. He's got everything you need. He's got 4 TVs. He can watch. When he was my co-host, he was watching one of the NFL games. He had 2 NFL games, but on 2 different screens, so it was exciting.
I got to turn this camera around to show you guys this real quick.
Yeah, show me.
This is that's that big hockey game going on. Can you guys see that?
Wow.
The color on the camera is off a little bit because it's so bright, but
It's bright, yeah.
yeah, but
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
that's that
Oh, I think it looks great.
stadium hockey game going on right now.
Man, that's awesome. What a cool setup. Yeah.
Yeah, so
cool
we'll have it.
It's nice.
Be out at the Sweet 16.
Okay, you guys are doing you're doing every game from the Sweet 16, from what I understand.
That's correct. Yeah, every
They
single
have
game.
done every game at the Sweet 16.
Okay.
They are the official home of Kentucky High School Athletics state championship events. That is baseball, football, basketball, wrestling. If the state championship event, you'll see it on PreSpin.
That's awesome.
I mean, the thing. I think the thing about PreSpin, they are phenomenal. I mean, they do some of the best work. When you see the games and stuff on the TV, they do such a fine job with their artwork and their captured all the action, and they have really good graphics, and they have tremendous people doing the game. They bring in former high school coaches that have played before or coached before, and I think their take on the games are tremendous. I have a bucket list thing I want to do one time. I want to do one state tournament game on PreSpin.
Hey, we got the king of stream right here. CJ, speak no more. Me and you should be on a game. When we gonna get on a game?
I would love to do a game. I would love to do one game because
I could probably get you guys on a regional game, but the Sweet 16, they take the radio feed, so I don't have any control over that. So
okay, cool. Well, that's cool. That's cool. So they just do a general
they do a phenomenal job. I give PreSpin.
That's cool. That's awesome. So what, I guess just for our viewers tonight, I guess you should probably just tell us what's the best way for people to access that. If someone's out there like myself, I really want to go Wednesday. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go. I want to watch this 13th, 15th game. So what would be the best outlet for me to watch on come Wednesday night?
Well, you got a couple options. Obviously the NFHS network is what KHSA promotes out there. All of our traffic's done organically, so whatever we promote, we bring in to watch our games. I will tell you that when you watch the game through PreSpin as opposed to the NFHS network, that it's an upgrade to what that NFHS network feed is. They stream very low bandwidth. And we pride ourselves on a much higher quality product. So you guys will be able to watch it in true HD.
I do have a question, William.
Sure.
Can you watch the NFHA game along with your PreSpin action, or is it just you guys only? They can't do nothing in the state tournament.
We simulcast it, so we produce it, right? So we produce it for the KHSA. Yeah. They hire us to do that.
Okay.
But here last year and this year we've done. I don't know why they decided to do it, because it's never been done before until last year, maybe because of COVID or whatever it is. But, they allowed us to put it on our pay-per-view model, and it did really well last year, surprised them, I think. And, a lot of people were, great feedback from it. And, so we're going to do it again this year, and we're looking forward to doing that. Normally, prior to COVID, we just streamed directly to the NFHS network. But again, we did all the production work for them, but we sent it to their platform. But we've opened up a whole cool, big revenue stream for KHSA and for high schools throughout Kentucky. And, last year we're proud to say that we've gave back, over $50,000 to local high schools and organizations here in Kentucky, including the KHSA, through our pay-per-view platform. So, that's something big for us that we're excited about, and I think it's going to continue to grow.
So I think that's really important for some of our viewers is that.
Sorry. Wait a minute. Darryl was supposed to be on the show with us at 8:50. He fell asleep. William, would you have a problem me bringing Darryl?
Bring him in.
A problem
bring him
Darryl?
in. Bring him in.
I want to bring him on for about 10-15 minutes. So he can go over the 15th region with me real quick. Okay.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay. Well, I don't keep you here too, because if Darryl will, I'll bring him in because he's, they got the best take on the 15th. And I'll go ahead and let him give his take on that, and I'll keep you here, and we'll have all four of us here because John's going to join us, and I can always fit John in towards the end of the show. And I don't think Darryl will probably. His take usually takes he's usually pretty good at getting his point across. So I'm texting back, so he may come on anytime. We'll wait and see. But let's talk about we've talked about the mountains a lot here, and I know you've been listening, but let's talk about some teams out in the state of Kentucky that we're not. I know that everybody's talking about George Rogers Clark and how they're rated. Number one state, number 10 in the nation. Some publications.
They're legit, man. I tell you, they've got they go 9 deep on the bench easily. Those guys can play ball. I think there's George Rogers Clark, and then there's everybody else.
Wow.
That's how I feel about it. After seeing them throughout the season, that Sam Parrish kid that they've got for him, he's a baller. Trent Edwards is. Jerome Morton, possibly the best junior in the state of Kentucky. I mean, that kid has got game, and going up against teams like Ballard, and Coach Cook, he hasn't done anything but thrown big time teams at these guys. I mean, it's a tough schedule too. So I mean, when you talk about legit,
won the King of the Bluegrass, right?
Yeah, won the King of the Bluegrass.
That's as tough as it gets outside of winning the state tournament. It might even, some people would probably argue it's even more impressive to win the King of the Bluegrass than it is the Sweet 16. So
yeah, and then they came back the next week and won the Lexington Catholic tournament, which is the Holiday Classic, and that was a big deal for them too. But like I said, that Jerome Morton kid, he's pretty awesome. Tanner Walton, he's a transfer from Lexington Christian Academy. He was their star. And he's from over there in Winchester. His family lives over there and everything. And it was just it was a good time, I guess, with everything going on to come home and represent his city and his community.
That's awesome. So if you and see, like for me, I'm coaching in the 15th all year and live here in southeastern Kentucky. I never have the pleasure of paying a real close eye to, teams like GRC and some of the city schools. And then especially out in Western Kentucky, obviously, I kind of keep track of KHSAA. And I've heard, this is fun fact, and I think CJ knows this, but me and Josh Cook played at Alice Lloyd College together.
Okay.
And so me and Cook actually go way back. So I'm totally pulling for him, and I hope they win it all. But
if they can get out of the 10th,
if
they can get out of that 10th,
you do realize who George Rogers Clark, if they get out of the 10th, who they play, don't you, in the state tournament?
No,
right?
what's that draw?
You're fully aware who they play.
Who do they have?
They play the 14th.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
They play the 14th.
Actually, I did because I prayed at night whenever I saw that draw for whoever wins the 14th. I'm like, I hope they're happy whenever they get to go. I hope they kiss the floor and kiss their mamas goodbye because it's going to be over.
You see here these 11th region guys up here, they're talking about, because if they win the first round of the Sweet 16, well, they're going to end up turning around and having to play, Ballard or Mel, and that's just, it's just a hurdle, man. You have to be really good to win it all.
Oh, absolutely. And, we've talked about that all night concerning the regional tournament. I mean, can you imagine winning the 3 in a row necessary, especially if you're in those tougher regions like the 10th, 11th, you're in those tougher regions. It's just it's really tough to win 3 in a row. And then can you imagine going to the state tournament and doing it all over again? It's crazy and unfathomable, what you have to go through to get to that point. But is there, out of what you've seen and, throughout the state, if you had to choose, and it's hard to even predict who wins a region at that point, maybe, but if there's another team out there that can kind of push George Rogers Clark if they were to get to the Sweet 16, who do you think that might be?
Well, shockingly enough, when I watched that All-A Classic over there, when we did the All-A Classic, there were some really good teams in that. Harlan was one of them. You guys know Harlan very well. That Jordan Ucal, he was phenomenal, man. I mean, he was like little Allen Iverson out there. That guy can, my goodness,
he can play. Ask one of my dudes. 2 years ago, they came to Lecture Central. He was a freshman or sophomore at the time, and he got one of the nastiest dunks in game that I've ever seen. And he jumped over my 2-guard at the time, literally jumped over his head. And he can absolutely play. Okay.
Yeah, so Murray's got a really good team down there in the western part of Kentucky. I really liked watching them. And talking about some smaller schools there, but McCracken, if you talk about west side of Kentucky, they're legit. Ballard's about as good as you get. They've got guys on the team that are college guys, man. I mean, they score at will, and you got to have a perfect game to beat them, Yeah. But like I said, GRC is probably the best team. I'm not going to say probably. They are the best team that I've seen all season long. Okay. I mean, they're just like I said, they're just up here. And go ahead.
What about Covington Catholic? What about Covington?
Yeah, Covington Catholic's pretty good too. I don't think Covington Catholic is as good as they have been on the state championship teams. Okay. But certainly, those guys, if they make it out of their region up there, I mean, who knows what they can do? They always bring that crowd. It's the craziest crowd at Rupp every time they make it.
It's so crazy. And the thing is that they make it so consistently, right? Is you've got guys that just get accustomed to that experience, and you would imagine that they play a lot looser, and it gives them, it has to give them an advantage at that point of most guys that they roster year to year have played, won a regional championship, won a district championship, and competed at the state tournament. So they probably year in, year out, no doubt bring the guys with most experience, right?
Right. Yeah. They've got a really good nucleus up there, if you want to say that. And, I think some of those guys come in, they just want to go to private school at that particular school. They get a lot of Cincinnati kids that play, on that team. So, they don't, they don't rebuild, they reload, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, it's just you mentioned Ballard and some of those teams, they they just seem to reload every year, and it's crazy. I know you mentioned the All A. Did you get a chance to watch Pikeville play?
I did. Pikeville's really, really good. I really like the way that that Pikeville plays the game. You can tell that they're coached very well. But
Just
it's
super
the
high
leadership.
Q. Yeah.
The leadership that they've got on that team is pretty remarkable. They come out there and it looks like a small college program. When they're playing. I mean, from the way they dress, when they come out of the locker room, everything about them. I mean, they're really good, dude. They're really good.
They got a tough first round. They got a tough first round game in the 15th region tournament, and I think Winston's already saw the brackets, but Lawrence County, who got upset, I ain't gonna call Betsy Lane upsetting Lawrence County upset because Betsy Lane's been consistent all season long. They've been one of the better 5 teams in the 15th all year, but they beat Lawrence County. So Lawrence County drew Pikeville, and these two were probably picked to be in the finals. I say,
that's a really
say that, Winston, because
it's super tough.
That's a tough draw for Pikeville in that first game.
No, listen, you look at that 15th region bracket, and it's just like, all year long, a lot of people would tell you that, Pikeville was probably had the slight edge out of that field. But honestly, like team 2 through team 12 all year long, it's almost like they just beat each other up. Martin County and Betsy Lane and Lawrence County, and Paintsville, all those teams just like really just any given night could beat one another. And then we saw Paintsville beat Pikeville by 15 at Paintsville. And so that's really scary. So honestly, the 15th is just going to be wild. It's going to be a crazy tournament.
But then Martin County beat.
Martin County turned around and beat
Paintsville in the district championship game. Beat them by 20.
Handily.
Yeah,
handily. So you just really don't know what you're going to get night tonight in the 15th, and that's worrisome for Pikeville. And like you mentioned, I'm wanting King of Stream here to pay attention to how many hits they get on that Wednesday night, because I would imagine you're going to get most viewers on your Wednesday night and Thursday night, right?
Well, we saw that at the All A Classic. I think Harlan and Bracken County, or was it Harlan and I think it was Harlan and Breath, or maybe is who it was. But I mean, they totally crashed our site. We had to upgrade our site.
Really?
Yeah, we had to upgrade it. Which is a good thing. We try to stay humble. When you think, when you pull out a good product like that, our video platform is solid. I mean, that's can handle 1 million people at the same time, but what we had problem with the website that night was people, checking out, paying to watch it, and the checkout process slowed it down. So we totally revamped and upgraded that. So you live and you learn, right?
I was going to say, get ready for Wednesday night, because honestly, if you see North Laurel win the 15th North Laurel win the 13th, and then you see Pikeville win the 3rd or 15th. Yeah, if you see the North Laurel Pikeville matchup in the first round for that Wednesday night, like it's gonna break the internet. Like for all the people like me, I won't be able to go. So it's like I'm going to be on PreSpin.
It was funny, when they drew those two regions, the comment was made there, and I'm not going to say who made it, but they said, we know what our night game's going to be. They don't know what the primetime game's going to be.
Yeah, we know what to do on Wednesday night. Like we know who gets that one. Yeah, that one's going to be special. I feel like I'm really excited for that potential.
Well, look at you got all 3 mountain teams playing on Wednesday night. If George Rogers Clark comes out of there, you got Region 10 versus Region 14, Region 13, Region 15. I mean, you couldn't have asked for 2 better games than, like Winston just said. You may have to update your equipment again, because one thing that I have learned going to state tournament, when it's mountain day, everybody comes out of the woodworks. Everybody comes down to watch the boys Sweet 16 when the mountain teams are down there.
And it's
depending how long
they
stay, how long the other people will stay.
Yeah. And it's going to be great to, GRC is going to, you would imagine them going into this as the favorite, that they're going to, they'll pull a lot of views every time they hit the floor, with all the conversation that's been around them the entire year. So you can bank on that too. I got a really strong feeling it's going to be. I don't know, how would you rate overall over the past few years, and I'm sure COVID definitely played into that. But overall, what's been the best year as far as views on the PreSpin?
Well, I could tell you, so we partner with WKYT here in Lexington,
Mm-hmm.
and we did the North Laurel Lexington Catholic game on TV here locally.
That's right.
It was also through their website, through our website. And we actually beat the NCAA game that some of the other affiliates was going. Everybody wanted to check out Reed, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
The ratings came back. They send me this email, and I'm like, "Am I reading this right?" It beat the college game.
So realistically, what's that goal that you want? What's the goal that you guys set on a view for a game like that? How many are you looking at?
I mean, when we get a big time matchup like that, and if there's a UK recruit involved into it, or it could be any other major university. People love watching basketball kids when they're young, coming up the chain, right?
Yeah.
So you tend to get big hits when you do that. I don't think anything out hits, like football does, but when you get basketball in a basketball state, it certainly goes up. So, this past year, our views have been crazy. I mean, in the millions, it's went up there. In past years, as we were growing, we see, 400,000 views a year or so, as a total combined. But the past couple of years where everybody's kind of staying at home, it's really been up there, man. We're excited about the growth of that.
That's super cool. So I assume, like, I guess you guys you're doing the girl side too, right?
Yeah. So we got we're doing an 11th region boys and girls regional beforehand, and the 10th region boys, we've got that on our network. And then when we get to Rupp Arena for the Sweet 16, we'll have the Mingy Beef Jerky Girls Sweet 16. I'll get you a scoop on that one here in a second too, by the way. Okay, and then we got the boys Sweet 16 as well. Mingy Beef Jerky, I don't know if you guys know it or not, and I may have told you in the past, but they own half of PreSpin. Right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm a huge fan of Mingy Beef Jerky.
Yeah, so I got to work with their marketing folks over there, and we were sitting there thinking, Title IX 50th anniversary this year, what can we do marketing wise that would be really special for that? So I was sitting here watching. It was a WrestleMania replay, and they're talking about the biggest stage of them all, right? We had a wrestling guy on here before. I was paying attention to that. So Nate was talking a little bit about wrestling.
Very good.
Oh yeah,
very good.
Yeah. So here's the very thing, good. The marketing thing that we're doing with Mingy this year. It's basically, the Title IX 50th anniversary. So we kind of playing into that as well. But girls deserve the biggest stage of them all. And it doesn't get any bigger than Rupp Arena.
Oh, it's perfect. Yeah,
isn't that awesome on the 50th anniversary of the Title IX?
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, no, it's perfect.
That is perfect.
And honestly, our girls programs, like, they deserve that. Yeah, like I think it's perfect, man. That's good. Good for you guys for looking out for our female student athletes, man. I that's huge. That's awesome. I think it's awesome that Mingy owns half of PreSpin.
I'm gonna tell you what.
That's right.
If you've never been to the girls Sweet 16, you need to go. I know people love the boys, and I know they get more probably fan base, but the girls Sweet 16 have the better games.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, and William knows this, the top to bottom, you'll see more competitive games from the girls than you will the boys on about any given year, because the girls are going to play so hard. I mean, you look at the girls bracket, I see a lot of competitive matchups there, unlike the boys, where there's a lot of mismatches. But anything can happen when you get in there. So, but our girls, if you've never been there, get a ticket. Go watch the girls Sweet 16. It is worth your time, because it is a phenomenal event.
You guys got a really good team coming. You mentioned Pikeville earlier.
WYMT guy.
Okay. you mentioned Pikeville earlier. Pikeville's got a really good girls team as well.
Just go bring John on here, let him be part of the party.
Sure. No, they actually have an excellent girls program. And I know they're the favorite to win the 15th this year for sure. I got to watch them play a couple of times being over in that region, but they play a lot like the boys team. But they're excellent. I really look for them to win that 15th. I got a good friend that coaches at Floyd Central, and they actually drew the worst possible scenario, like that they 25% chance or whatever that they drew Pikeville the first round of region, and they actually drew Pikeville today.
Man.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? I'm about to puke. Like
I was watching the draw on D&D.
Yeah,
I was watching the draw and I saw that happen.
John, I was going to say, we got John. He can be able to give us that 15th preview too. I know Courtney was there. Did there seem to be a lot of, especially the girls' draw? First of all, we need to get an update on something. Then we'll go ahead and look at the bracket. How is the Shelby Valley girl? I know she had a hand injury in the championship game with Pikeville. How is her status? Is she going to be able to play in the region? And Cassidy Rowe, sorry, is Cassidy going to be able to go? And then we'll talk about the tournament.
Yeah, she had to go to the hospital after the game against Pikeville on Thursday. Lonnie, just based off social media, I haven't really talked to him much since then, but just based off what he's posting on social media, he seems pretty optimistic. I don't know for sure if she'll play. They got a tough draw. I mean, they got Lawrence County first game out, so
she will play, is what Lonnie told me. I actually talked to him yesterday, and he said that the X-rays came back that it wasn't broke. She said she thought initially it was broke because there was like a dent in her wrist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Lonnie said she looked at him after they got the X-rays back and said, prayers work, man. Prayers work.
Take me up. I'm out there. Yeah.
I want to tell you guys this. Mr. and Miss Basketball, the voting's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's who we voted for was her. Just her comeback and just her love of the game. And I don't think anybody outworks her or represents their school and their community like she does. And that's the reason, that's what Miss Basketball is all about. So that's who we voted for.
I will say being in that district this year and having the pleasure and opportunity to watch her play a couple times and being and like knowing Dodo and kind of being friends with him on social media and watching the work she puts in. But even when you see her on the floor, you can tell how much work she's put in. She's built like a D1 player should be built. She's lifted. She's, she looks the part, and her court vision is like, I haven't seen many girls with that court vision that she has, and her anticipation for the game. Her court vision and anticipation are about as good as any female athlete I've ever seen. And she deserves it. That's a good vote. She absolutely deserves it. And I'm hoping, I hope and pray, and I'm glad you got the news that she gets to play.
I am too.
Yeah,
I'm too.
He said,
I want her to play in the region because I don't want I don't want nothing to be able to sideline a Shelby Valley because if they, because
they can win it.
The
They can win it.
And Pikeville's going to have to beat Shelby Valley for a fourth time this year. Can they do it? If Rowe, I think Cassidy don't play, it's going to be hard. But if she plays, they got a great chance.
Yeah, they got plenty of experience at Pikeville at this point. I mean, this would be, if they did play each other in the region, it'd be a fifth time, and every time it's a more competitive game. I mean, it was a competitive game against Pikeville in the All-A, and then Pikeville blew them out of the water the two regular season meetings. But I mean, this past game on Thursday, even without Cassidy for a chunk of the game, it was still competitive and tight for the district. So, I would be shocked if there were any real surprises in that game if that game gets played. So, and I think that's what the 15th region needs. I mean, as good as Lawrence County is, as solid as Floyd Central is and all the other teams in there like Martin County and Paintsville and Belfry, and it's got to be Pikeville, Shelby Valley for that 15th region. I mean, it's I'd be shocked if it wasn't. So,
and Lawrence is really
John.
good. Like,
Go ahead, Winston, because I was going to ask John one question. Go ahead and get your comment, and then I got a question.
I'm good, CJ. Go.
My question was, what was your thoughts of the whole day as you saw brackets come in? It looked like an election, waiting for the results to come in. It felt like an election day. It felt, I mean, you're waiting for this bracket to come in, and then this bracket would come in. And it would just seem like the anticipation was waiting, and then some of them got what you thought they were going to be, and some of them probably, Well, what's your thoughts of the whole day as we saw the brackets come in?
Well, as a guy that used to be a news reporter and has covered an election day, I'll take this any day over an election day. But I unrelated, I'll say this: don't have a day like this, then decide, you know what, I'm going to have Pizza Hut, because it just doesn't work well. You're tired already, and then you feel like crap because you had pizza. But anyway, I went to the 13th region. I went to the 13th region draw. I missed the girls because they moved everything up, and I didn't get there in time. But I was interested. I was intrigued by the South Laurel Harlan matchup in the 13th first game out. I love that matchup. I'm really excited to see how that plays out. Harlan, after that game last night against Bell County, they're going to be pretty hungry. And, South Laurel has been getting better and better over the course of the year. And I'm excited for that matchup. I think North Laurel Lynn Camp will be interesting. I would be shocked if Lynn Camp won, but I think it's an interesting little test for North Laurel because Lynn Camp's got a lot of skill. So I like how things are shaping up for a North Laurel Knox Central rematch potentially in the championship and on the boys' side. One other matchup I was kind of pleased by in the 14th region was Cordia Hazard. I think that'll have some fireworks. I think that'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a really fun game. I think you guys hit on it a little bit earlier, but that draw for Pikeville on the boys' side, Lawrence County, that'll be a tough game. Cody Maynard can do it. They got a lot of weapons over there up in Louisa. So, that'll be an interesting first game out for Pikeville. Yeah. Those are kind of my first impressions. And then I kind of went into, okay, how do we plan all this? So that's what
where am I going to be and when? Who am I?
Yeah, and we got the 12th region too, so we gotta think about all that. So,
What was your thoughts about Breathitt and Perry being in the same bracket in the 14th boys?
Oh yeah,
I was bummed. I really wanted that to be a 14th region final. I think I'd be shocked if. Not saying Perry's bad, and Perry's had a great year. It's hard to beat Breathitt in the Coliseum. So, I'll be interested to see how this 14th region goes. I don't know enough about Powell County. I don't think they'll beat Perry, but I'll be interested to see how this goes. Not Central's getting a little bit better. I don't think they'll go very far, but I'm excited to see how this all plays out. I've never done a region before, so in West Virginia, basketball is not as big. So
I'm so excited for you to get this mountain basketball regional tournament experience. I think you're gonna. I hope you enjoy it half as much as you are gonna love it, man. It's something special. I'm excited for you, especially having it at the Coliseum. In the 14th is just awesome, and then having it on the girls' side at Perry is amazing. The Expo. I've never actually been to one at the Expo, but they say it's pretty awesome. And CJ always talks about how cool it is at the Corbin Arena for the 13th.
Corbin's awesome. Corbin's the best. Corbin is one of the best nights I've ever seen for a tournament. Last year's tournament in there was some of the funnest basketball I've ever been a part of. The anticipation of all the media there. You had 25 different types of media there: radio, TV, live streaming. You're going to have the same thing this coming week, the same exact thing happening again. even probably more people's put in. Les told me that he didn't mention it on the show, but more people, they had to set up a third row of media for this coming tournament. So, I mean, it's a big time thing.
When I was in,
are you guys doing? You said you're doing the 11th region, right?
We've got the 10th and the 11th is
The
what we're
10th and
doing
the 11th.
regional wise. And then I helped some guy that was in the 15th region kind of figure out how he can simulcast, because anytime you do regional games, you have to send it also to the NFHS network because it's the KHSA's contract, right? So there's a guy that's at one of the, I guess, the Intercable company there. His name Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're going to be doing the 15th region, and they're putting it out on Facebook, so you guys can watch for free if you want to watch it.
That's cool, John. I guess what's the slate look like for WYMT?
We got the 13th region, so
Okay.
we'll have all the 13th region games.
That's cool.
I believe, Bluegrass Sports Nation will have the 14th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think TBS Cable, Hometown 24, that outlet, and BSN. I think both of those will also have the 14th. I don't know how they share or divvy that up, but
WSGS will have it on Facebook too. They'll be live streaming too. So
yeah. Man, and that's something to consider that we never, like CJ mentioned, in the fact they had to set up that third row of media. Like there's so much more now. It's like in the as far as the media, it just feels like there's so much out there, which is awesome, for our high school student athletes to be able to, be promoted and get their name out there, and people to really be into it and talk about it. I think it's awesome. I should thank all you guys, like all three of y'all, for doing all the work you do for our student athletes, man. It's awesome.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah. But it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it.
There we go. Hey, our boys at D&D too. We can't leave them out. They have absolutely.
No, we're supposed to have.
Okay.
I apologize.
15th
Darryl,
is the only way. Yeah.
Darryl,
there you go. Let
Yeah,
Darryl
so,
and
they left their comment
straight,
for us.
man. D&D is the only.
I didn't even know D&D was doing the 15th, man.
Well, there
I
you
would have
go.
name dropped,
There you go. They're
I
out
name
there.
dropped you, Darryl. Come on, man.
There you go. And listen, I do want to. If they're watching,
Darryl has been busy. I'll tell you what. Between West
crazy.
Virginia and Kentucky, they've been all over the place.
And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about how big they've been for even just my program, at Jenkins, who really, they've never gotten much love before. And D&D has been huge for us. And I honestly, I feel like I should write them a check or something. I don't.
Hey, Darryl, you better watch out, man. Darryl will take it.
So it's like, but they just do such an amazing job, promoting our athletes. Not even with live streams, but just posts and advertising for our kids, man. It's unreal. So yeah, D&D, the best and only way to watch the 15th.
I'm gonna
highlights on WYMT. No, they did a great job with the 60th this year.
Darryl. Wait. I just got a message from Darryl. Darryl says, I'm on the waiting for you to bring me on. Save some 15th region talk, brother. So if Darryl comes on, we may have a 5-way going here in just a moment. If he wants to come on, we'll let him get a little bit of talk.
That's the best way to eat Skyline.
Go ahead,
man.
John. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
5-way. We're going all the way.
That's the one Kentucky thing
I don't know.
have not had. I have
You
not
need to
had
get up the Skyline. That's not really. That's more like a Cincinnati thing, but it's still we kind of adopted it, right?
It's trickling down, man. They're in Central Kentucky right now, dude. I got one just down the street from where we live at now, and we hit that up.
yeah. Maybe we could. That needs to be a sponsor. We need to Skyline and Gold Star. We need the sponsorship from one of those guys.
There you go.
I'm with you guys on the chili until you put it on pasta. Then I'm like, I don't know, man.
Skyline's been teaming up with the La Rosa outfit quite a bit, so they'll build, one next to each other.
Okay.
And we actually interviewed the La Rosa guy one time, and they've actually got a high school Hall of Fame in their Cincinnati location. So they are big supporters of high school sports. La Rosa's is. So
that'd be super cool.
If you ever get one in your area there, man, you might be in business with that sponsorship.
That'd be cool.
William, I'm glad you brought the Hall of Fame up because they brought it out this past week. The
big class,
class that they're going to induct. And I'm so impressed with this class. Let me go over it real quick with you because there's some names in here that you know, some people you know, and some mountain ties. Al Baker, athlete from Trenton County. David Couch, athlete from Johnson Central and a contributor to KBE. Albert Cummings, a athlete from Brooksville. Nate Folkler, I hope I'm saying that correctly, coach at Boone County. Michael Glazer, he was a coach at St. X. Lauren Lou Golden, she was an official, or he or she's an official. I think that's a girl. Dale Mayberry, coached at PRP. We remember his teams back in the late 80s and early 90s when he coached at PRP. Hoover Neese, Wiston, you ought to know that name because he was the football coach at Estill County in the late 80s and 90s. Really great football coach. Jade Perry, athlete at Muhlenberg North. Critton Rickers, athlete at Fairdale. Bob Roberts, a contributor from Richmond. Trey Scroggins, coach at Central Yellow Jackets. They named the field after him this past playoffs after they had one of their playoff games. Kelly Wells. These next three or four really got to my heart because some of these people should have been here a long time ago. But Kelly Wells getting in. He's a player and coach. He coached at played at Marion County, coached at Rowland, coached at Mason, was Pikeville's boys coach for a long time. Now he's the AD at Pikeville. Anthony Epps, former UK basketball player, coached at Marion County. You can correct me if I think Marion County won a state championship under Anthony, didn't they? I believe, or they made the finals.
His daughter won one,
Yeah, she was unbelievable. Oh, she was off the charts. Coach Matney got put in, and I want to talk just a second on that one because that tugged at my heart when that happened. And then Dale Muller, of course, he coached the Highlands, all the football state championships that he won when he was a part of Highlands and them dominating teams that Highlands had. The two that got to my heart the most was seeing Kelly get put in and Coach Matney. Coach Matney, if he was alive today, we would rather have him on earth, but I'm glad he's getting this opportunity to be put into the Hall of Fame. He deserved it. For what the community of Johnson County's had to go through this past season, this is a perfect ending to what this man means to the mountains and any sport. And then, Kelly getting in, I think he's well-deserved. Should have been probably a long time ago. Kelly's done so much for college and high school sports. Now he's he does a tremendous job being the AD at Pikeville. After he coached a great job at Pikeville. So I just want to go over it real quick because William had mentioned it. And I'll give you your thoughts on the what a time. Give me a different thought on the Hall of Fame.
I tell you, Bob Roberts is a pretty important one on there. When you talk about that list, he when you see all those awards and stuff after the Sweet 16, when they recognize all those athletes out there and do the scholarships and things like that, he's the big sponsor of all that, and he's done it for many, many, many years. And so, when you talk about a contributor, you can contribute in a lot of different ways. Well, he does it not only with his time and money, supporting the high school athletes and stuff, but he's just a great guy as well, and done a lot of things for high school sports that a lot of people just don't talk about, but he's done. So that was a pretty important one. And then like you said, Coach Matney, that was very, very well deserved. And It's such a sad story, that the whole story about that, but getting to see him get put in the Hall of Fame certainly is warming to the heart.
I see. Coach Jesse Meek, he one of my guys out there. Thanks for watching, Jesse. That's awesome, man. But I totally agree with him. I mean, the one that really touches my heart, aside from obviously Coach Matney, and being well deserving of what he did with that program. And I'm sure that will now be successful for years on end to come, in the way that he did things, that will continue on. But Coach Wells, I ran into him last week. We had the unfortunate scheduling of having to play Pikeville 3 times in the last 2 weeks of the season. There's no more, like, what a morale crusher, right? Yeah, just blah. But after the game at Pikeville, he actually came up to me, and me and him kind of went back to the college ball, and then just kind of having mutual coaching friends, and going to camp a few times over there to his team camp, and just being a UPike fan, and kind of just being seen, in the same crowd a couple times. Me and Coach Wells, have this coaching relationship, and he had actually came and talked to our team when I was at Letcher. That was really awesome of him. And there's another story about that. I'll tell you some other time. Actually, one of our science teachers backed into his brand new Ford truck, and it was awful.
Oh, no.
I felt so bad. He came and volunteered his time to talk to our team for an hour, and the science teacher backed into his Ford, like totally crushed the back end.
No.
All right, anyway, so he gave me a hug after this game and was like, "Man, just like, I see what you're doing, and you're doing great. Just hang in there. I know it's tough right now, but I just want to say awesome job, and we support you and all that stuff." And that meant a lot to me. And I'm not convinced that he's done. I think he's going to come back. Like, you ain't seen the last of Wells. He's got too much fight in him. He'll come back at some point.
When I reported on it, when I reported on it the other day, whenever that was released, obviously Jim Matney, I'm not going to say anything that hasn't already been said, but I do have to disagree with you a little bit, CJ. I don't think this is the perfect ending for him. I think the perfect ending, you're seeing it trickle a little bit by bit with all these signings that his players are getting. And you're seeing his wrestlers succeed, in states right now. And he's carrying on. I mean, they're carrying on his legacy too. So that's been really nice to see. One of them's going to UPike. I covered a signing this week, and they bring it up every single time what Matney would be saying if he were still here. So, but also with Kelly Wells, you kind of hit on it with his legacy and UPike, Winston, but also, when I was living up in Huntington, we still heard about Mason County basketball and what that Royals mean to Maysville. And, it's nice that he was able to build on that legacy there. And, so, good for him for that. And then also Hoover Nice, coached at Estill County for so long and also played at Whitesburg. So,
hey, Whitesburg, baby.
Yeah, for sure, man. So,
there's a lot.
Yeah, good class.
A lot of good ties there. Yeah, it was. It was one of the better classes I've seen. I just had to take a moment and take a breath, because it was breathtaking to see that class. And we mentioned Anthony Epps, who got put in. His daughter was an unbelievable basketball player when she played. She actually won 2 state championships, I believe, if I'm not correct. And I believe Anthony was the coach of that team when he coached his daughter, if I remember correctly. But, congratulations to this class. I think they put them in sometime after the boys' Sweet 16, or during the Sweet 16. Is that right, William? Is that sometime during the boys' Sweet 16 is the Hall of Fame ceremonies?
The Mr. and Miss Basketball is the Sunday of the Sweet 16, the boys Sweet 16. So they're playing the championship and the semifinals on the same day this year, right?
Are they? Did they go back to
Yep.
that? I didn't
Yeah.
know
They're
that.
going back to Saturday like we
didn't know
used to. Yeah.
I did not know
Yeah,
they went back to
in
that.
fact,
I thought it was still Sunday.
Yeah, it'll be
Saturday's
it'll
gonna
be
be
11. The semifinals are 11 and 1:30. The championship game is set for 7 p.m. So, yep.
So
me,
and
I
the
love
next
the
day,
Sunday Go ahead.
yeah, then the next day is Mr. and Miss Basketball announcement, and then they do the KHSA Hall of Fame. It's coming up as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now. I mean, this is the next 3 weeks, the next 4 weeks. It's jam packed, fellas.
Yeah, and it's exciting, man. It's exciting.
Don't forget, you got one of the best Kentucky basketball teams playing right now. Not
that's true too.
Calipari era. So,
I tried to let myself get down about today, but I'm choosing not to. I think that's fine. I think that loss is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good loss.
It was.
Yeah, it's not a bad loss. Yeah. So I'm okay with it. I just don't want to slip out of that. Like, we got to work to get out of that 2-3 line. I just don't want to let it slip away. So I don't know. Maybe we won't.
The only negative probably right now, as far as the SEC tournament, that we'll be playing at 9:30, and I don't know if I can stay up past 9:30 to watch them play a SEC tournament game, but looks like I'm going to have to. So.
Oh, CJ, come on, drink your Red Bull.
Okay, I don't like Red Bull, but some others do. Okay, I'm going to do this individually because time is running short. I'm going to let William. I'm going to keep him for just a second more. John, give me any final thoughts about this week as we head into it, and what we need to look for from you guys on your end as we get ready for what's going to be probably one of the best weeks of basketball on the high school scene we've seen in quite a while.
I'm going to be blunt. I don't know what to expect on my end because I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, okay, I don't know where we send this person right now because we got a bunch of good games and we only got 2 people. Yeah. So I don't know.
Hey, I'll tell you what I told William. I am for hire.
You are for hire. You may have just dug your own grave.
He did. Winston just walked out into a hole and just dug some dirt around him.
No, I'm excited. I'm ready. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Let's get it going. I'm ready to do some 13th region games and 14th region games and 15th region games. I mean, you can't leave anything in the bag at this point. We're past the point where teams are going to hold back a little bit because we might see them in region. Well, we're going to see them in region. It's win or go home, and this is what we play for. So I'm really excited to cover it, and I'm excited to see what happens this week in Jackson, Corbin, and Pikeville. So let's go. And Hazard. So let's go.
Don't forget tomorrow, the girls, you'll be there right tomorrow. You or Courtney, you'll be there for the girls tomorrow at John C. Combs Arena. All day activity.
She's gonna be at the first 2 because I need a day to sleep in at some point. So she's gonna get the first 2 games. I'm gonna get the not Owsley game, and I'll probably get the Leslie game. Either me or Jade will get the Leslie game. So we'll figure it out from there on out. We're gonna be without Courtney on Tuesday because she's gonna be up in Lexington for the Ole Miss game. So, we'll that's the gears are turning up here, and I'm trying to figure out who goes where. But it's gonna be a hectic week, but we're excited. And you can catch all the 13th region games on WYMT.com and H&I. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring that up. So,
yep. Well, John, thank you so much. I'm going to let you go so you can start on that sleep so you can be ready for tomorrow for a fresh start. I will see you sometime this week somewhere, and you be careful on your travels, sir.
Thanks, buddy. See you tomorrow. See you, Winston. William, good to see you, man.
All right.
Thanks,
you
man.
too, John.
See you, John. All right, John Lowe, WYMT Sports Director. Any final thoughts before before we let you go, I know you tremendously come on here. Thank you so much for spending this quality time with us. I'm glad you got to spend more time with us than we anticipated. We were supposed to have Darryl on the show. Unfortunately, Darryl had some things go on. I'll bring him on before the boys state tournament because my next show will 13th. I'll try to bring Darryl on. We'll talk about some things going on over there. I know we're close to baseball season starting for the high school. I did have one other question for you. Do you guys cover high school baseball?
Yeah, we definitely will this year a little bit more than normally. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the last 7 years I've worked in professional baseball with the Lexington Legends, and I retired yesterday. I said, I'm done with it. So I'm going to want to concentrate on high school this year. We got this new trailer here, so we're going to pull up to some high school fields and have at it, man. We're gonna rock it.
That's cool. Yeah.
There's some good baseball
cool.
out there in the state of Kentucky and in the mountains. So PreSpin is going to be part of that. And you also do the championship games for baseball too, right?
That's right. Yeah. We'll do that. And the boys baseball championship. It's moved over to UK this year. It's not going to be at the Legends Field. So
I didn't know that.
And then softball's at UK as well. So we'll have both going on at the same time again this year, which was a challenge last year, but we overcame it. And it'll be a big time. Big time production for both of those. But on this 10th and 11th that we've got going on, I expect GRC to come out of that 10th in the boys. I think Franklin County girls comes out of the 11th, and I'd like to think that Lexington Catholic, I'm a Catholic guy, as you guys know, but Lexington Catholic certainly has a great team, and I expect them to come out of the 11th region and head to Rupp this year. They got a really good team.
I think
gotta watch that Madison Central bunch over there. They're lurking.
Madison Central lost their district game. Yep. Well, I mean, if you look at the top of the bracket in that 11th region, here's what's going on. And I gotta say, when Madison Central and Lexington Catholic played, just I guess it was a week and a half ago, when they played, that wasn't the Lexington Catholic team that we saw all season. So he didn't show them much. Let's just say that.
True. That's true. That's true.
But Coach Feldhouse, what a great coach! Future Hall of Famer he is.
No doubt.
I mean,
Central. whenever he's eligible, he's there.
Yeah. And
he's
shout out to
Hall of Fame.
Shout out to his wife, who's the cheer coach as well. They won a national championship down there in Orlando and just brought it back.
Okay, cool. That's cool. Okay,
congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
But that top half of that 11th, real quick, Lexington Catholic got Henry Clay, Great Crossing got Madison Central. So whoever comes out of that top bracket, I expect to win that.
Yeah, I do too. I saw that earlier.
Great Crossings has been good.
Go ahead. I'm Winston. I'm sorry.
I'm done. I like Great Crossings team. I thought they've had a pretty good year. I know I saw that coach won Coach of the Year up there. So
yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, he's good.
I think they're a year or two away from being really good. They got Malachi, which is an up and coming star.
Right.
He's there now, but he's got a little bit more weight to put on his bones and things, and he'll get there. Certainly his brother has done great things over at EKU.
Yeah.
But he'll get there. I just don't think right now is their year.
Right.
Well, William, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I appreciate it very much. I will be hollering at you sooner again because I want to try to bring you back and let you be a co-host again like you did there.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yep. I'll bring you back and we'll let you do another couple hours
we
with
need
us
to
and have a lot of fun. Okay.
Yeah, we need to bring this trailer down there and do a road show, and let's do it from the trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yes.
I think Winston wants to be a part of that. So if we can ever get that done, we need to.
Hey, let's make it happen.
In the trailer.
This spring or this summer, man. Let's make it happen. Let's get through this Sweet 16 stuff first, and then we'll rock it out.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. I appreciate
That's
your
an
all's time.
invitation, Winston. Winston, are you ready for that? That's an invitation.
I'm in. I'm bringing Skyline. I will have the Skyline and Mingy.
I got the Mingy hookup. We'll
You got
definitely
the
have some
Mingy. I get the Skyline. You get the Mingy.
All right, William. Thank you so much for being with us, and we will see you down the road.
You guys do a great job. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much, William. King of Stream, William Warfield. He does a great job there at PreSpin. Watch them as the state championships progress. And watch them in the 10th and 11th region tournaments that come up here this coming week. I want to thank everybody for watching, for everybody leaving comments, a ton of comments. I did go over and check my phone line. Something was wrong. I got to get that fixed. I got to get that worked on before next season. I'm just trying to wing it out so the best I can, and I'm going to try to really get a lot. We're trying to get more phone calls on the show. I want to thank all my guests, Les Dixon, Nathan, Darryl. Darryl will be with me on a later show, for William being with us, and John. I'm going to let Winston give his final comments in just a second. Like I said, though, I will not be with you again until March 13th. That'll be an 8 o'clock show, episode of 26 of the CJ Howard Show, because the next of course, tomorrow I'll be at Prairie Central. The next Sunday, I'm going to go watch the 14th region semifinals at Breathitt County. So I will not be back with you until March 13th. That is the week of the boys' Sweet 16. We will go over the girls' Sweet 16 and who won it and all the games there. Then we'll break down the boys' Sweet 16. I'm hoping to have all of the winning coaches from the regions from 15, 13, 12, and 14 to be on the show if I can. So look for that as well. I want to remind everybody, too, don't forget about my new Facebook page, the CJ Howard Show. You can go into the search bar, find it, put it up there. It'll come down. Give me a like, and I want you to share it with everybody else and my other fans on the show. Then get tons of likes on my Facebook page. I want to continue. Thank you for that. Let's continue to keep that going. I want to remind everybody, too, I got a YouTube channel. I want you to go over there. I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just put CJ Howard in the search bar. Give me a subscribe, and that bell will ring as well. Winston, go ahead and give me your final comments, and then we'll get out of here.
I am so excited about mountain basketball over the course of the next few weeks and the potential it brings. And I just want to give a quick message for all the coaches out there. You know, this coaching is a brotherhood, and I've gotten the opportunity and blessed to have the opportunity to make a whole lot of close friends through the coaching tree. And I just want to tell you, even if you're not playing in the coming weeks, heck of a season to fight through COVID for now 2 years consecutively. And I want you to keep fighting the good fight, and I want you to keep a hold of your programs and do the best job that you can. Keep your nose to the grindstone. And for those that are playing over the next couple of weeks, I wish you the best of luck. I had a great coach one time that I worked with, Coach Raymond Justice, who always said the cream rises to the top. You know, you'll always hear that saying so much, but it's always true. And you know, the best coaches, this is the time when they really show their colors. And so I got you in my prayers, and I wish you all the best of luck. And win or lose, I'm thinking about you, and always here if you need an ear to vent to. And I wish all those coaches the best of luck. And if you are playing over the next couple of weeks, you've done a heck of a job up to this point, and I always wish you the best. And all those players out there, this is your time to shine as a student athlete. Go out there with some pride in your heart, man, and compete wholeheartedly. Be able to look in the mirror at the end of the day and say you gave it everything you had, and then win or lose, you can be proud. And so I just thoughts and prayers out to all those people. And congratulations to all of our Hall of Famers that were named this week. And I know we've had all of our Players of the Year and Coaches of the Year and tons of awards being handed out over the last couple of weeks, and we'll continue to do so over the next couple of weeks. I appreciate everybody just hanging in through what was ultimately 2 tough COVID seasons, and we can always hope collectively and pray for better days ahead, man. God bless everybody. I do want to say God bless those people in Ukraine right now, man. My thoughts and prayers are with all those out there suffering tonight in any form or fashion. thoughts and prayers out to you, man. And hopefully next couple weeks we can escape a little bit and enjoy some high school basketball.
Well said, Winston. Well said. Winston always loves it. I seem to bring Winston on when some of our when we have these intense conversations, and we had tonight was unbelievable. One of the best shows we've had in quite a while, and we want to thank everybody. Winston, don't leave me when we get off there. I got something I'll tell you after we get off the live, after we went live. As I always do with every show, as I ended, I always say, CJ Howard running third and heading for home. Good night, everybody. I will see you on March 13th with the CJ Howard Show episode number 26. Also, check out your local tournament in your region. Get out there and support our local athletes and coaches and fans and managers and water boys and whoever is participating in these tournaments. Support your local team. Thank you, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you the next time on the CJ Howard Show. Goodbye, everybody.